parts are here.
The new motorcycles, they cost too much, so we will buy you for them $700. Then we'll buy some parts to make it cool. All used motorcycle is better than brand new.
Wow. I would love to have the natural light come in here and make a wonderful lighting, but there's some guy mowing out there, it's really windy, and I'm just done with nature right now. It's like an inhaler from Thailand, I swear it's not drugs. I mean, I guess it's something, I don't know. Alright, I can breathe slightly better now. Okay, we need to open them all up, kind of unbox them, and we need to organize a little bit. We have to do this in stages, we have to be smart about this. Always cut towards yourself. Good. They're good ones. Brake fluid. Woo! Battery terminal stuff. Oil filter. A lithium battery charger. Oh man, that's funny. That's a lithium battery in here. This has got some weight to it. All the stick, the brake, the stainless brakeless lines. Yeah, I know my words. Clutch plates here. Some grips. Fast acceleration chain kit. A single rotor here. Can we get the other one? Gold bolts. Look at the case the bar ends come in. Put a wedding ring in that. PSR. Oh, these are the block off plates. Ah, okay. Oil. So these must be the rear brake pads. All Mike K&N. Got rear sets. I gotta look at those now. These look nice. Get all the adjustabilities with all the adjustability there. All right, I didn't screw up. The other one. Oh, it's the windscreen. Power Commander 5. It's definitely motorcycle Christmas here today. First thing though we need to do is we need to actually organize this into a couple different piles. I think I'm gonna try to do everything that's like wheel related, everything that's like under the fairings and tanks, some cosmetic. Well, I did it. Arcade staples, mate. If you're gonna staple your boxes together, staple them a little better, please. Thank you. Found the master link here. I've actually rolled it so it's right up on the sprocket towards the back here. Always find this is easiest because it helps sort of center it and hold it real steady. Tight. It shouldn't be too hard to push in. If you're trying to do this and it's like really hard, stop because you'll bend the little pin in here. A little washer in here that's folded over so you can't unscrew this thing. There we go, it's almost flat now. A lot of people, they'll leave the chain on and they'll put it in gear or something, or they'll hold the brake down like, no, that's cute and all. What you really want to do is you want to get something like this. Get it to lock on there, and then you want to definitely put a rag between the frame or whatever else could possibly touch. Go ahead and loosen up both axles, pinch bolts, and even the little bolts to the brake. Not take them off the way, just get them to the point where they're just finger tight. In my experience, you don't want to be torquing on it once it's up on the stands, and trust me, the bike's not going to just fall apart. Tools are lined up. We're really gonna have flip-flops on to do this. Brake over to the side. And got a tire. And the calipers, I'm just gonna let them hang right now. Normally I would say try to zip tie them up. You don't wanna let them pull on the cable, but we're replacing these cables anyway. These are going in the trash, so I'm not really that worried about it. That's some grease on it. Yeah, this one came right out. There we go. The rotors and the new sprocket, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get those on the rims before we get the new tires put on tomorrow morning, because you're gonna balance the tire. It's kind of best to have all the new hardware you're gonna have on there. I'm gonna tighten these up in a star pattern. Remember, this is a cast room. This is going into a cast aluminum, so no reason to crank on it. If you're not comfortable with that, then get you a little torque wrench. We technically have now installed the first part, a rotor. We did it. All the bearings, I've already checked them on these wheels. They all feel really good, luckily. So there's that. Ta-da! Go ahead and get this rotor out. You know, the thing that cut my hand earlier. Ta-da! That's all we need to get out of this kit right now. Look at it, it's about to cut my pants. See, it's got multiple holes there. Ones you're trying to hook into don't line up. Go to the next ones and ta-da! 43 tooth sprocket. Now we're gearing it down just a little bit for acceleration. One of those. I'm gonna take it in the morning and get the tire switched over. Okay, I'm going to bed. No, I'm gonna go eat some food and drink a beer, then I'm gonna go to bed. Good morning. Off to a shop. Oh, my knees. The tires are done. Jesus. So we actually have a number of parts installed now. We're getting somewhere. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay. These are the Spirit STs from Avon. We picked this one because we wanted a tire that would give a good life, good in multiple conditions, be high grip. I think that's like the holy grail we all want. They consider this a hyper sport touring tire. It supposedly has a lot more silicone reinforcement in it. I believe that means it's gonna work much better in the rain and the wet. So you have a middle strip right here. It's a little bit harder rubber where you're driving all the time. Then you got the one over here. This is when you're Valentino Rossi and you're getting that good grip. You're all leaned over. You notice too, they don't have any tread, either of these, on the very far edge, which again makes sense to me. You might as well, why put tread out there? You're not gonna be that leaned over in the rain. Soft, medium, soft, and then another layer that combines all those together. Because you don't want to fall on a pirate. Very good profile. I'm really excited to try these out. Got to experience all kinds of very, very good high grip tires. But of course the problem is it'll last. These though should give us the best of all worlds. It's time to go to dinner with my wife because she said we have to do that and I do what I'm told. So let's pick this back up. 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Look at that. You know, you guys would never know, because I know everything looks exactly the same. A whole week is going by since I've worked on this bike. So I was just about to put the tires, the wheels back on, but I'm sitting here looking down into the bike, and I think this is the best time to go and get rid of that terrible LED wiring. I've popped the seat off, and just look at this in here. This is so typical what you see on these things, but this is like some duct tape here. This is running up along the linkage, running across the shock. These are for houses, not for bikes. This is actually to the tail light. We're gonna have to address this too. Rat's nest of wiring. Oh God, it's so bad. And it's multiple different types of wiring too, from what I've noticed. I think this is the tip sensor right here. And there's literally a feather stuck to the duct tape. I think he just used random wiring he had sitting around. Obviously nothing has been soldered because you can just yank it apart here. It's all just crimped. See, look at that. That's all right. We have our politically correct tool right here, so we're just gonna do what we gotta do. What a cute thing you did to your bike, buddy. Removing this lights is the best mod I've done to this thing so far. Zip tie that right to the suspension linkage. It's a swell idea. Now I want to know what's going on with the rest of the wiring up in here. I know I was going to try to put some new tape under this anyway at one point, so let's just go ahead and get it off, get it done with. I don't know who you are. Yeah, this is why we like to go through these things, because this could be done better. That's not how you do this. This is all wrong. Is the speaker wire again? What's with the speaker wire? All right, well, there's only one thing to do. I'm gonna go ahead and get this battery on the charger. Get hilariously light if you've ever felt one of these. Got this little rubber cap on here. I guess you could run it or not run it. I mean, might as well just leave it on. And it's got this rubberized bottom. Our special lithium charger. That's probably the cheapest weight savings thing you could do to a bike, and it's supposed to last longer. I don't know if it's a thing with the lithium batteries, but with the lead acid batteries, if you can put them on a piece of wood, not directly on the ground, that's supposed to be a thing. Okay, I think it's doing its thing. Cool, great, grand. I'm gonna put some of these EBC double H pads. I use these on a lot of street bikes. I've always really liked them. New brake pads, new rotors. We're gonna have new brake lines on here. All right. We're going with the HH pads again on the rear. Wheels are back on. We haven't tightened the rear yet because we're going to still put the chain on and we'll have to adjust all that. What I'm going to do for now is move on to the steel braided brake lines. Since I know I'm going to be taking this windscreen off and replacing it, just to make it a little easier to deal with all this, I'm just going to go ahead and take it off. Brake fluid is incredibly corrosive. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. First thing I want to do is I want to get all the old fluid out of the system before I start taking all these lines off. I've got the coolest tool in the world. There we go. Let's see, it's trying to come out there. That's probably going to be pretty good. You still should keep in mind as we take these lines off, there's going to be some residual fluid in there, so just be careful, of course. Remember, if you do get any brake fluid on anything, just get it cleaned up quickly. It's not the end of the world. You don't need to panic, but get it up quick. There. And now we got the one that's feeding upwards. Oh man, that's so tight against there. There we go. So here's the factory rubber brake lines, steel braided lines that we're going to be replacing them with. They won't wear out, they won't pulse, they're more durable. Master cylinder right and master cylinder left. These are going to do this type of setup where it's going to use a double banjo bolt up here and then just single banjo bolts down there. On the lower triple, very much in a place where I can never film it, it has this little bracket right here which hooked into the stock brake line. They give you this in the package. You could easily pinch two of the lines in there, so just use the same hardware. I'm not going to completely tighten it up yet because as I hook the rest of the system in, it may move a little bit. It's still loose enough I can move those. Perfect. Just gotta make sure these aren't going to be pinched when you go full lock. Come like this, so they get very tight in there. Not pressing, they're actually still free, but I'm going to run a zip tie right here, which is why I'm giving myself a little extra slack. I'm going to put a zip tie right here and put this down firm. Oh yeah, that's better now. Now we can go ahead and tighten everything up. Go and get all your rags back in place now because we're going to be putting some brake fluid in there. Don't fill it all the way up because as you're working on the bike, you know, you bump it, you don't want it spilling. Tighten that up for right now. We'll move to the other side. So you got good pressure here. Don't settle for like a bubble in there. I know so many people are like, well, the brakes are so good, it's fine. Looking a little ahead as I do sometimes, I have a set of Vortex rear sets that are going to go on here. One thing I did figure out is the Vortex rear sets do not support this brake sensor right here. I made a call to J&P.
Thank you for calling J&P Cycles. If you know your customer number, please enter it now, followed by the pound.
Hello, thanks for calling J&P Cycles. This is Todd. How can I help you?
Just bought some parts, ZX-6R, some Vortex rear sets. You know the little brake switch down at the bottom? The new rear sets don't support that. Is there some kind of like bracket or something I need to get to make that work?
Well, you probably don't want to do a bracket because that's going to look kind of funky on those rear sets. It's a manual bolt that has a pressure switch on the other end of it, and that'll act as your brake light switch. Now let me just run through my catalog real quick and we'll get you a part number. Part 241-Z607. Do you want me to ring you up for that today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sir. Well, thanks for calling J&P Cycles and ride safe and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, have a good one. So the cool thing is, there's a part to fix it. I'll put this line on, we'll get it in place. We just won't fill the system. This banjo bolt is going to be the one that's going to be replaced with the pressure one anyway. I'm just going to set it in here right now, just sort of as a placeholder. go ahead and finish up our chain sprocket. I did give this a little bit of a cleanup in here. Also put just a little bit of grease on the splines in here, a steel on steel. Dab of grease around it like that just helps create a slight barrier. Coax it not to rust. This side towards the motor. There's some people that would replace this every time. Personally, I'll reuse one of these like at least 3 times usually. You can fold it here, fold it here. But if it bothers you, order another one. Nut on. Always set your torque wrenches back to 0. Not the prettiest job, but very much functional. I don't think we're gonna need to take any links out. It's a nice thing about kits. If you have a tool, check what the other chain is at, and you need to make this one the same. Yeah, I think we're good now. Basically, it's a rivet that sticks through there. We're gonna mushroom out the end of the head here just a bit. Yeah! 1.5 inches. The first thing we need to do is we need to find the tight spot of the chain. Shifting one here. My Loctite. And you want to tighten this to use your head. Just aluminum back here, don't be stupid. They actually give you 2 different shift rods of different lengths. I think if you were gonna go with up and high, you're probably gonna run the longer one. I'm old and have bad knees, so I'm going to go as low and as forward as possible. So I'm going to use the shorter because that's a shorter distance. So these threads are versed on one side, normal on the other side. You might say, Jake, why is that? That's a great question. And so when you get this rod up on here, you can actually spin this thing since it's threading on 2 ends, and you can make this tighter or more far apart, which will adjust where this thing sits. Too much Loctite on one, take the threads of the other one and just kind of do like this with them, you know? Look at that, now we've got a great spread of Loctite. Look at that, that's just amazing. See, as I tighten this up, see how the shifter moves? There's jam nuts on either end. So for right now, I'll wait till I sit on there. It's probably gonna be something like that. But basically you're gonna find where you want it, and then you're gonna run your jam nuts into the rod on either end. Plug the other end of the connector up here. It's kind of a tight fit pulling it through here. This is the piece though that we're going to ultimately end up attaching that pressure banjo switch to, so not replacing this piece. Snap it, doesn't matter. I'm going to reuse this piece so that everything has like an OEM fit. On this side, to adjust the lever, you actually have a jam nut and a piece right here. You can adjust this rod, and that's what will set that. Again, I'm going to set those once I'm actually sitting on the bike and kind of see how everything feels. Next, I'll do the grips, the levers, the bar. I'm sitting here all super careful. Look at these gouge marks. Jeez, guy. You guys saw that? That wasn't for me. These are some Rinthal grips, or 32mm. I'm just gonna use a little 3M spray adhesive. Just working on it. Make sure you don't go all the way up against this thing. You gotta be careful if it starts rubbing this housing. I'm gonna put a safety wire here and here. Stock lever, old, wore out, very long. CRG, roll a click, a little shorter than stock, and it's just got the adjust clickers on here. These things are really high dollar, man. Let's see if that's enough. Sure is. Here we go. Lubricate up this cable before we put it back in there. Still want to grab a rag though and always wrap it around this before you start squeezing it. Now you know it's got lubricant all the way up and down it. That's pretty good, you know, sort of stage one, if you will. Next time we'll kind of work all up in this area. At least a good bit of it will be where we put the battery, the power commander, the filter, the smog block offs. And after we do all that stuff, the rest of it's really, really fast and pretty easy. All right, okay guys, see you later.